Hello friends, welcome back to our science lesson today on plants. So we have previously learned about leaves, and if you remember, leaves are kind of like the parts of the plant that are almost like factories. They make the food for the plant. So leaves take the water and nutrients from the soil, the carbon dioxide, the air that we breathe out, and the sunlight, and make food through the process called photosynthesis. Remember that after the leaves have made their food, which is like a sugar substance, they let off oxygen, which we breathe in. And in the leaves of the plant that makes them green are those little areas that are called chloroplasts. Now remember, chloroplasts are filled with chlorophyll, which makes it green, but also act like solar panels, collecting the sun's energy. Remember, we also talked about leaves are sometimes food that we eat and we use to make medicine. So we talked about lettuce and spinach and cilantro were some of the types of leaves that we eat. Today, we're going to talk about seeds and what role does a seed play in the plant. So if you will grab your true and false questions and your reading notebook, we're going to be on page 69 to talk about seeds. And let's go ahead and answer our true false questions first. Remember, we're in the before column. Do your best. The first statement says all plants grow from seeds. So I want you to think about, do all plants grow from seeds? True or false? And the second statement says seeds contain food for the new plant. True or false? Does the seed contain food for the new plant? Go ahead and fill your column in. All right, you should have that filled out. Now let's go ahead and look at this together. Most plants grow from seeds. Notice that first sentence. There was our true false question. Most plants grow from seeds. A seed is a case that contains a tiny baby plant inside. The seed also contains food to give the new plant energy to grow. So there's another true false question. So this little teeny seed is like a case, it's like a suitcase, and inside it is the tiny baby plant and food to help it support its journey. And then that seed will grow into the new plant. Look here at some pictures. This is all different kinds of seeds. You can see large seeds, little seeds, different colored seeds. All of these seeds are the beginning of a plant. Here is a picture of what's inside of a seed. And you're going to watch some videos here in a little bit that talks more about the seeds and how do they grow. But here is the inside of a seed. So on the outside is the coating. That's what we see. And then there's these two parts called the apical and the hypocotyl. And that is where the leaf and the stem are starting. So here is the baby plant growing. Here is what's called the radicle that becomes the root. It's going to grow down into the ground. And then here is the next part, which is the food for the new plant called the cotyledon. So inside that seed is the new plant, the beginning of its root, and then lots of food to help it grow. Seeds require certain conditions to make them start to grow or germinate. So when a seed starts to grow, we call it germinate. Seeds need the right amount of water, light, and air to live and grow. So they have to have water, light, and air. When a seed gets what it needs, it will germinate. There's that word again that means to grow. Then a small plant called a seedling breaks out of the seed. So that little baby plant is called a seedling. And here is that picture or process again. So here is the seed in the ground. It has all the right conditions and it started to germinate. And you can see that root is starting to grow out and the baby plant is growing up. And as it starts to grow, it starts to hit the surface of the dirt. And right here is where we call it a seedling, because now it has grown a stem, some leaves to make its own food, and roots. As the plant continues, it's going to continue to make its roots, stems, and leaves and grow into a mature plant. Now I want you to take a moment here and look at these roots. What kind of a root is this? You should be saying a taproot. There is one main root coming down with little roots coming off. What kind of stem is this? It's a fibrous stem because it is a green bendable stem. Excellent. All right, next time we come together, we're going to learn about flowers.